Hey, good morning. Just a moment. It's like it's about 4:30 in the morning. I had to put on my hat. I went to bed with my hair wet, especially after deciding to bleach it. I mean, I had this box sitting around for like 6 months, so I might as well use it. My hair's all fucking crazy. Just woke up from a series of dreams that ultimately led to me waking up to do this reading. The dream consisted of a whole bunch of places where I felt out of place. And the only thing that really sticks to me is how I was left having to drink everyone else's spoiled milk without throwing up and, and before it got too rancid to drink. In order to clean up everyone else's mess because of my purity. That I had to drink everyone else's nastiness because they weren't gonna, they couldn't purify themselves. It's an interesting concept. Something no one else does. Everyone just says, okay, you know, uh, I go to church, I quit my bad habits, I did these things, oh look, now I'm holier than thou. And now I stay away from all those things and those kinds of people. Yay, polarity. Let's just make the world worse. It takes one to know one, and then you can't reject one because that's how it works. You don't go, oh, look, I realized something. Now I reject everyone that's not like me. That's hypocrite. Hypocritical. But that's pretty much how spirituality of old works. You just switch. You just go, oh, I changed. No, these are my people. I don't know that my old people. I don't associate with them because I'm better than that. No, you're not. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been associated with them in the first place. We're all human. Even the government's trying to cash in on my unity, on what I've been working on for years, trying to replace me after fighting and rejecting me the whole time. Me in particular. They get the head of the FBI up there wearing a bindi dot and talking about using some guy's quote, but she hasn't walked this walk. She hasn't been through all of the walks of the different religions and all the states of mind. She's up there talking about in some other man's quote about how, oh yeah, all the books go together. Yeah, they all go together in a disrespect of Christ, in a broken story of the truth. Every single one of the books. They go together, leading to a story that is yet to be told, that has always been told, but is off to the side because the main character was missing. Trying to keep everybody in their group still. See, rather than to evolve. It's about division. See, so head of the FBI working on religion, being something she's not. I don't know. Kind of sounds like having to drink some spoiled milk. Oh, let's see what the coins got. Shit. Uh, yeah, it's all about unity now. Which wasn't the word I used, but they like to use you, the letter U, in order to manipulate everything. So, oh, we're to contain everyone's mind. Okay, so now we're saying, oh yeah, we're all about all the religions that they cross weave, but keep your spots. Well, we're not combining anything. We're not changing anything. We're just saying, yeah, well, we want to keep our groups because we can profit off of division, but we're calling it unity. No, Rick and Unity out partying. That was me. I'm Rick. Unity and the collective. Yeah, we've done that for a few years up until last month or early this month. Now we don't go on them parties no more. While the system made sure that meth was available to me, but I wouldn't be arrested, so that they could profit off of all of the information that I gave out. Because how could I get a hold of drugs for free all the time unless they were being provided? And why didn't I get in trouble? Because I was being provided in order to be used by the system. I mean, I appreciate not going to jail, but hey, it was entrapment. I was being provided drugs in order so that I could be used. So I could swallow everybody's sour milk and they could use my work as their platform without providing me with anything. I mean, that's what the first Trump regime was about. Why they provided me with meth for an entire year and called it COVID. Well, they tracked and followed me and recorded every single thing I ever said and everything I did. That's how it is. But it's not about me. It's about the world. Oh yeah, but the world is a bunch of division. Hell, it's a division across the fucking street. I got a church over here, a church over here. Do the people go to the opposite church? No, they don't. They believe in Jesus, supposedly. They believe in God, yeah. But what are the principles of Jesus and God? That there's no separation, and God didn't, and Jesus didn't have anything about any beliefs about preachers and churches. He had to do with actual collective, where everyone is an individual. Each is an individual that has to have all the precepts of the religions and understanding into one. Not one cutting off half of their face and half of their body and half the people they know, and then going into a box and listen to some guy read from one book to tell them what to do. And then going about their week half off and half on when they're at work and when they're at home. But when they're at home, they're wasting everything. And when they're at work, they're wasting themselves. And really nothing connects up. Because that's the world of old. That's the dead world. That's the world of Capricorn and everything being ruled by people with masks. See, honesty doesn't really need to take a title. Doesn't need a freaking license. It just needs to be innocent and speak its truth. That's the baby in the manger. Let's see what these coins think this morning. When did the FBI get into fucking religious politics? When the FBI has been actually on the other end with searching out religious extremists and following them around, but then they make it look like anybody who's serious about religion is a terrorist and is getting together a bunch of people to go kill some other people. Or that the other side of religion is a whole bunch of people that hide in cowardice and lock themselves in one building and try to live without the government, or hoard a bunch of guns, or just swear off the world entirely as a cult. That those are two extreme ends of religion, when religion is is an eighth of the pie chart of spirituality, of being a whole human being all the time in all facets, because God is all prevalent and all pervasive. There's no separation. The separations are caused by the devil. Otherwise, there wouldn't be one church for everyone to go to, and there wouldn't be 15 churches in one town for people to divide themselves between. Everyone would have their own church like this, or their own confessional, their own story, their own speech, and wouldn't be hiding in cowardice behind a book, behind whatever. People wouldn't be living in fear. They would be telling their stories. But nobody tells their stories. And if they do, they wait 5 years to tell it, because they're a coward in the moment. They have to wait until it's behind them, and then they can stand on pride of, oh, I'm better now. Are you? No, you're probably better then. That's why you were, but you wouldn't talk about it. If you can't talk about it when you're fucked up, then what's the point of talking about it when you're sober? Huh? They're two different kinds of devils. And that's why sobriety looks so cockeyed, as a hypocritical thing to bring up, as anything to stand upon. We're at 26 on $17. 26 on 17, huh? Well, what's the energy read today? The great buildup leading to following. The great buildup benefits the upright and true. Not eating at home is lucky. Some of those things. It's worthwhile crossing great rivers. Well, this is the great river we're crossing. In great buildup, there is firm strength and earnest genuineness, with shining light daily renewed. Its virtues place strength on top, with esteem for the wise. To be powerful yet controlled is great rectitude. Not eating at home is lucky in the sense of nurturing the wise, which means others are taking care of you. Well, that can only happen if others are taking care of me, or you. It's worthwhile crossing great rivers in response to nature. The sky and the mountains symbolizes great buildup. Thus do cultured people record many words and deeds of the past to build up their virtue, not to show up and be like, hey, look, I got my badge. Oh, I got my degrees. Now I'm going to step into this other life, and the other life disappeared. The old me's gone. No, it's one continuity, one development, one life, one ray of refining. There's not a before and after. That's some bullshit. Following is a great success, worthwhile if correct. There's no fault. In following, firmness comes under flexibility, joyfully following its activity. If great success is correct, there is no fault, and the world follows the seasons. This means following the seasons is great indeed. That's just a simple aspect of that. Let's leave it at that. Let's see what we can pull from the Kama Sutra. It reminds us to flatter the older women rather than to fawn after the young what's the right word I'm looking for? Not pure, but I don't know, just bright and shining ones. Yeah, fresh. To dote on and flatter the elder wives or women, because they really have the power, and they've already been through the muck and the mud and the birth and the betrayal and the all that. And get my water here. The older women hold the whole world together, honestly. The younger wives or women, sure, they're great and spontaneous fun and so fresh. And then 5 minutes later, oh, squirrel. And then she's gone. I know that from my own marriages, having been legally married twice and 2 common law marriages besides that, and raising several children not of my own, and still being the honest and faithful man that I am, not creating any children until I am with my final wife. Yeah, I know what I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't really feel like Kama Sutra. I'm going to be at work for the next week and a half. I get to come home for the next 3 days, but then I won't get to leave work until late next week. Just be imprisoned there. But I'm doing someone a duty, a service. Since no one celebrates me for Christmas. Almost every Christmas I've ever had, I've been robbed by even my own wife, my mother, roommates, friends. If it's just me, it's just me. Christmas has never had any good connotation in my life. I'm glad God brought me meth for free through a stranger last Christmas. I didn't miss out. It was good to have that Christmas. And it was the best Christmas I ever had. Hopefully, there'll be some good Christmases in the future where I actually get to spend it with people. But such is the way it is for somebody who's not about the ego on the ego holiday. I mean, it's good for the kids, but see, that's the thing. These things are impressed upon the children to manipulate them for life, to be about getting stuff or being bent into a certain way to see the world. Because God has a path and a plan for each of us, I believe. And it's different for each person. And this whole thing about left and right, well, looking out of your face, left and right is one thing, is deviating for your path. And so whatever's right in front of you, that's what you got to do. Oh, the dope came up. Okay. Now the book came up. Okay. Now the candle come up. Okay. But to anyone else, that's left or right. That doesn't they're like, no, it's over here. It's over here. Yeah, well, what are you doing talking about over here? Each has a separate path, and trying to be on a specific path is to be abandoning your own path. And the whole thing about a group that religion has wrong just breaks that, so that you don't have a path and neither does anyone else there, because each of you is on a different timeline with your personal Jesus and with the Most High. And so for everyone to be at the same place at the same time, that's not how that works. I mean, it can, but that's the tiniest part of the journey. That's like everybody sitting together in a smoke session on drugs, right? But the real journey is anywhere, but is everywhere except for there, because it was a collusion of plans. Like when the Senate gets together to make a ruling. Well, that ruling has basically nothing to do with anybody who's there, and everyone who's there is there to get paid and doing their job, and so the ruling has nothing to do with them or their lives, and it's completely removed from anything that they're ruling on, and so that's the place of least. It's the place outside of time. But once it's over, then everybody goes on their business. Now everybody's back on their path. See, the path is outside of that place. I'm brought to that because it says here, be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the instructions Moses gave to you. Yeah, but who's Moses? Yeah, you get Moses from inside, from your higher self speaking to you. Do not deviate from them, turning either to the left or to the right. Then you'll be successful in everything you do. Joshua 1:7. Well, I don't know. pretty much, it seems like the number one thing, they've created this world as a hell of a paradox, that the number one thing for God is the number one thing against God. But without that being set up first, then how could the true cooperation, unity ever be achieved? And so the world is going backwards, but everyone, and it's religion and the groups of separation, that had to be set up first, which is against the laws of the universe. And then the whole while, everything was trying to support those groups and tear them apart on both ends. And then now, over the last couple of years, as we're crossing the galactic exchange center of where the God is trying to break down those walls and create it so that all are on the same page, not as a unity, but as a collective of individuals in full understanding, as pillars of light to each themselves, for and of the globe. Now the devil's trying to do the opposite by trying to make all those groups like stronger and locked in more, at the same time as, oh, well, yeah, you got to believe in gays and trans and that, and now you got to read the Quran, but you still need to go back to your church. See, it's trying to bust it together rather than to make each person strong, each person knowledgeable, each person full in their growth without boundaries. And everyone can do that from where they're at. That's how God works through each of us. In isolation, first. Because they created the Bible in a response to the old religions. Because Jesus was always there. If that book is created as a response, then the Bible is not. It's they created a paradox and they bent space and time with it. To make it all come true after the fact. There were all these magical stories that never happened in order to make it come true, because it never came true before. That's pretty wild. So I pull up the Empress. Empress pulls up. All right, spirits, let's talk about somebody else. Oh, yeah. The other side? The Queen of Swords? Yeah, talk about the older women. Really hold it down. She got the power. She got the know-how. She got the experience. Older wives. Older women. We got the Ace of Swords after the Hangman. It doesn't want to change the story. And the Ace of Wands. The fuck? The Page of Swords. The King of Wands. Can I just pull one after another? All the major arcana? Here, give me 3 cards. What we got? We got the Wheel and the World and 8 of Cups. In reverse, in this case. This is about alignment. It's about being the world. About not following the wheel. Keeping oneself content. That's not the word I want to use, though. Keeping oneself content, no. Keeping oneself centered. And holding on to peace. And bravery is simply standing for self. If one has Christ, then church is the last thing one needs. Because that was the crutch. Religion is the crutch when you don't know and before you're awakened. That's what's dragging everybody along. Or, you're taking a church, like, I don't want to be about that, and you try to run away, and it's a double tether. But once you have Christ, then you have it all. Then you need to absorb all the information, which you should have been doing beforehand, because the further you went up, and then that's equal to how far you come down. So those that put themselves in a box, after they awaken, they stay in a box of the same size without a lot of pressure from themselves to know what's going on. Don't live in limitation. Over the last couple weeks, I had to deal with a lot of psychic attacks. So forgive me to those who I've subscribed to and then unsubscribed and been here, there, unable to decide what to do with all the things, the track record of everything that I've done in the past. Obviously, I'd like a clean and simple, straightforward platform and message. Wouldn't everyone? Yeah, I bet you God wanted one of those too, but he never got one. I'm waiting for, or existing as, what it is, as I continue grounding myself. I mean, the past is the past, is the whatever. I mean, there's nothing to hide. What's there to show? The truth is revealed as the truth is revealed. It's available. But as I've told the entities trying to bother me, get in my head and stuff, well, give me some kind of option to work and do something that is prosperous, or a way to tie this together. I'll gladly take it down. I'm going to put it all private and start the new foundation. The same with the relationship. If we could combine our efforts. Because, well, ego wants everything all nice and pretty in a little box and the bow in the corner, and it's just to be episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's just straightforward, all clean. Yeah, but that's not how shit works, does it? Especially when it's real life. That's how fake life goes. It's all cookie cutter, And all the best parts of it are missing. Because the part you remember at work isn't the part where this goes perfect, 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 perfect. Oh, we had a perfect day. Yeah. Well, unless that was the only perfect day ever, then that you're never gonna remember that day, except for like, unless it was the only one ever. You'd be like, yeah, I remember Fred in 1954 on December 17th. We had that perfect day. Yeah, I do. Okay. Wow. There's that perfect day for you. It just comes and goes. And even if you can track it, big fucking deal. Every day, it's about the differences and the changes and the evolution. Today is both my mother and St. Francis's birthday. I'm sure both of them will think of me. And neither one will contact me. And, well, my mother abandoned me yesterday. It wasn't even an adult enough to tell me the truth. She let me set up being off of work to spend time with her and my stepdad so that they could ditch me. After he told me what time to be there. What kind of parenting, what kind of adulthood, what kind of baby shit's that? You can't even speak up for yourself. Oh, we had to get away with something. Now we're gonna go waste some money because we're the babies. We're gonna go eat out, yay! And we're gonna waste some money for how we want to, because it's about us being the babies. Okay, you can be the babies. It's fine. I don't care. You're old. You're gonna die soon. Have fun. I'm so glad you didn't invite me. I was dreading it. Considering of the people who hold me back about as much as can be in one aspect, it's definitely been them. Sure, if I show up and I'm like, hey, can I borrow $10? Or can I get $10? Yeah, here's $10. And that's their way they can convince themselves, see, we always give stuff to Josh. He doesn't do nothing for us. And we make sure he can't do anything for us. Because we have to hold something over him in order to feel good about ourselves. Well, we can't take care of anything that he takes care of. We just got to be as simple as possible, but we're not simple. My mom, it's crazy. I talked to my mom, she said, you think too much, this and that. And then yesterday, then she turns around and tells me the same thing about Glenn. Oh, well, I think about stuff. And he says, oh, well, you think too much. Oh, yeah, but she can't talk to me and think. Like, what the fuck? Why is everybody like fucking a fragmented being that is talking out their ass on both ends, in the front and the back, the side to side, and nobody's fucking in there? Wake the fuck up! There's just some fucking microphone talking on their head that's not connected to anything or anyone that they're around. It's just like two different entities. I don't get it. While the rest of the time, they're sitting in the corner, sucking on their thumb, playing fucking games on their phone. Thinking about how they're going to manipulate everybody to get what they want. I don't know. Yeah. So drinking everybody's sour milk till it comes clean. Guess that's my message for today. It sucks.